In this world, people often speak about intelligence like it's a badge to be shown off. But true intelligence, my friends, doesn't shout, it simply exists. Today, let's talk about a woman. Not just any woman, but a truly wise one. Because a smart woman is not defined by books, degrees, or how fast she can argue. Her intelligence runs deeper. It's a sharpness that cuts through the noise of life and sees clearly through it all. So, what are the traits of such a woman? First, she understands the value of both speaking and staying silent. Most people spend their lives trying to prove they are clever by constantly talking. But a truly wise woman knows that silence can carry more weight than speech. When she does speak, she speaks with intention, clarity, and strength. Second, she stands on her own, not because she refuses support, but because she knows she is whole by herself. Her happiness doesn't rely on anyone else. Whether in companionship or solitude, her peace remains like the sky, wide, untouched, and limitless. Third, she sees through people easily. She doesn't require long explanations. One glance, one word, one shift in behavior, and she understands. This isn't magic, it's deep awareness, a sharp mind that picks up more than what's said out loud. Fourth, she has strong emotional balance. Life's ups and downs don't shake her easily. Whether praised or judged, she stays centered. She knows people's opinions are like the wind, changing constantly, but her inner calm belongs only to her. Most believe intelligence is measured in how much you talk, how well you argue, but a truly insightful woman knows better. She doesn't waste her energy like that. Wisdom to her isn't in how loud or often she speaks, but in the strength her words carry. She knows silence can be more powerful than words spoken at the wrong time. Consider this. Have you ever seen how a lion hunts? The lion doesn't roar before the attack. It observes, waits, calculates, and when the moment is right, it strikes. Silent, exact, and strong. Foolish animals may bark and jump at every small movement, wasting energy on noise. But the lion, it speaks through its actions. A smart woman is like that. She knows when to wait, when to let others speak, and when to make her voice count. Picture a room where everyone is arguing, raising their voices, each one trying to be the loudest. And among them, there's one woman, quiet, watching, listening. She's not silent because she lacks confidence. She's gathering information, understanding the moment, and when she finally speaks, everyone stops. Why? Because her words are thoughtful, rooted in understanding, and full of meaning. That's the power of knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Look around you. The most respected people in the world are not the ones who speak the most. They are the ones who choose their words wisely. They don't react to every small issue. They don't argue just to prove they are right. They don't spend their energy fighting meaningless battles of pride. A smart woman gets this. She doesn't waste time defending every criticism. She doesn't explain every move. She doesn't seek validation from people who don't matter. She moves with quiet strength because she knows real power isn't in trying to prove herself, it's in being unquestionable. There's an old saying, a wise woman doesn't argue. She just smiles and lets the fool keep talking. This isn't pride. It's knowing not every fight deserves your energy. Some people argue just to win, not to understand. And in such cases, silence is the smartest move, because silence is not weakness. Silence is a decision. It's a powerful tool when used with awareness. Think about your own life. How many times have you spoken in anger, only to regret it later? How often have you argued with someone who never wanted to understand you to begin with? A smart woman avoids these traps. She knows that words are like currency. The more you spend them carelessly, the less valuable they become. But when you speak with purpose, they gain immense power. Take a situation at work, for example. Two people are in a meeting. One keeps interrupting, trying to sound knowledgeable, talking over others, pushing their opinions. The other remains calm, quiet, speaking only when needed, sharing thoughtful points. Who earns more respect? Who leaves a real impression? Not the one who talks the most, but the one who talks with purpose. A smart woman applies this everywhere, in her job, her personal life, and her everyday encounters. She understands that silence can teach lessons that words sometimes can't. If someone disrespects her, she won't lower herself to argue. She won't try to convince people who don't want to listen. Instead, She lets her work speak. Her growth is her answer. Her calm presence changes the room. Without her raising her voice, this doesn't mean she's always quiet. Not at all. When it's time to speak up for what's right, she does. When there's injustice, she doesn't hesitate. When her voice is needed, she uses it. But she speaks with thought, with accuracy, and with strength. Because she understands, it's not the loudest voice that has the most power. It's the voice that speaks with truth and wisdom. So next time you're in a moment where you feel like reacting, pause, ask yourself, are my words helping right now? Or am I just talking for the sake of it? Is this something worth fighting for? Or will silence serve me better? Because in that pause, in that small moment of choice, lies real power. That's where intelligence lies. A truly smart woman isn't the one who just knows a lot. She's the one who knows when to speak her knowledge and when to keep it inside. She moves through life like a steady river, flowing where needed, still when necessary, always strong in presence. An intelligent woman is independent, not because she pushes people away, but because she understands she is already whole. There is something beautiful about someone who doesn't rely on the world to feel complete. She's not independent because she's cold or trying to prove anything. She's independent because she's discovered that everything she needs already lives within her. She doesn't search for constant approval. She doesn't need someone to tell her she matters. Her joy is not tied to another person. She walks through life knowing that while love and support are blessings, they are not the ground beneath her. They are flowers in her garden, not the roots. Picture a strong tree in a storm. Wind howls, rain pours, but it doesn't fall. Why? Because its roots are deep and strong. That's the kind of stability a truly independent woman holds. She may be surrounded by others, loved by many, but if someone leaves, she doesn't fall apart. Her core remains untouched. She was whole before. She's whole still. Many confuse being independent with being alone. But a smart woman doesn't refuse help out of pride. She knows accepting support is not weakness. It's wisdom, but she never depends on it. If someone offers help, she accepts it kindly, but she doesn't wait for anyone to lift her up. She already knows how to stand tall on her own. Think of a woman in love. A strong woman doesn't beg for attention. She doesn't cling to someone out of fear. She loves with depth. She gives fully, but she never loses herself. If the relationship ends, she doesn't break. She grieves, she heals, but she keeps moving because she was whole before love and she remains whole after. A smart woman does not fear being alone. In fact, she treasures it. While others try to escape silence, she grows in it. While others fear being alone, she finds comfort in her own company. There's a saying, if you feel lonely when you're alone, you're in poor company. A smart woman understands that well. She doesn't need noise to fill her life. She enjoys her own presence, her own dreams, her own story. She doesn't wait for someone else to give her purpose. She creates her own. Look at how the world treats women who walk in their strength. Some admire them, some fear them, some misunderstand them. Society has often told women their value lies in others, a partner, a family, a role. But a smart woman knows her value comes from within. She defines herself. She chooses her journey. She doesn't follow the paths made by others. She builds her own road and walks it with pride. Imagine a professional environment. A confident and self-reliant woman walks into a room filled with men who doubt her, who expect her to constantly prove herself, but she does not shrink back. She doesn't wait for anyone's approval to take up her space. She walks with intention, speaks with certainty, and acts with self-belief, not to show that she's better than anyone, but because she understands her value isn't something to argue about. A self-sufficient woman is powerful. She's the type of person who, if left in a room with nothing, will still find a way to build something meaningful. She doesn't wait for fortune to find her. She creates her own path. She doesn't sit and complain about what's missing. She maximizes what she already has. She doesn't feel powerless in hard times. She stands tall knowing that she has faced challenges before and can do it again. This sense of independence isn't just about earning money or being successful in a job. It's a way of thinking. A wise woman can be anyone, a caregiver, a painter, an educator, a guide, or whatever she chooses. Being independent doesn't mean turning away from tradition. It means choosing traditions freely, not following them out of pressure. It means whatever road she takes, she does so because it's her choice, not her obligation. Life tests everyone, but a genuinely independent woman does not crack under stress. She might trip, she might fall, but she always gets back up stronger, smarter, and even more focused. She knows that in the end, only she is responsible for her peace, her goals, and her joy. And when you meet such a woman, you feel something solid in her energy. There's something magnetic in the way she holds herself, because she doesn't live to be accepted. She lives knowing she already is. A truly wise woman understands people almost instantly. She doesn't require long talks or big explanations to know what someone is thinking. She sees deeper than just what's said. She notices what is hidden. It's not some magical gift. It's awareness, the ability to pay attention to sense, to grasp what's not being spoken. Have you ever been near someone who can tell how you feel without you saying anything? That's her power. She doesn't just hear. She truly listens. She doesn't just see. She studies. She picks up the little pauses in someone's voice, the change in their gestures, the tension that others overlook. Where most get lost in conversation, she uncovers the reality behind it. Picture walking into a crowded room. Some people are laughing loudly, some are in deep conversation, and some are sitting in silence. Most would assume the ones laughing are confident, the quiet ones are shy, but a smart woman notices more. She sees the one laughing too hard to hide their pain. She sees the quiet one who's thinking deeply, not because they're timid, but because they're reflective. She knows people often show the opposite of what they really feel. This ability isn't just emotional. It's about reading motives. She knows when kindness is real and when it's just for personal gain. She can tell when someone's words don't match their actions. She notices what others miss. This skill is priceless in daily life. In friendships, she knows who cares sincerely and who's only around for convenience. In love, she senses who is truly involved and who's just playing along. In her career, she sees who is supportive and who is secretly working against her. This isn't about being suspicious of everyone. It's about being aware, about seeing things as they are, not as they pretend to be. There's a well-known story of a woman who went to a job interview. She answered the questions and left, but during her short visit, she observed the receptionist didn't make eye contact. The interviewer asked questions but didn't listen, and the workers looked stressed. She didn't need anyone to say the environment was unhealthy. She saw the signs, so she rejected the offer before they even called her. Most people would have accepted, only to regret it later, but a wise woman notices what's beneath the surface. This awareness shields her. The world has people who misuse kindness, who deceive, who manipulate, but she's not easily tricked. Sweet talk doesn't fool her if the actions say something else. She doesn't trust blindly. She protects her energy. She doesn't give her heart to just anyone because she knows not everyone deserves it. And when she does realize someone's lying, she doesn't always confront them. Sometimes she watches quietly, lets them believe they've succeeded while she decides how to respond. She knows real strength isn't always in reacting. Sometimes it's in knowing. Her awareness helps her build solid relationships. She's a dependable friend, a strong partner, a thoughtful leader. She knows when to push someone forward and when to let them breathe. She understands when words are needed and when silence is more powerful. She doesn't waste time with people who drain her. She values truth, depth, and real connection. Because she sees clearly, she surrounds herself only with genuine people. Those who support her, uplift her, match her spirit. This ability isn't something learned from school. It comes from living, observing, and staying aware. She doesn't rush to judge, but she trusts her inner voice. She hears what's said, but more importantly, she senses what's not. Because of that, she moves through life with sharp wisdom, clear thinking, and unshakable belief in herself. A truly intelligent woman is flexible. She flows with change like water, adjusting to what life brings without losing who she is. Life is full of surprises, ups, downs, turns no one expects. While some people resist change and hold tightly to the familiar, a smart woman welcomes it. She understands that nothing lasts forever. So instead of pushing against the flow, she learns to glide with it. bending, not breaking. Think of a river winding through rocky paths. It doesn't stop when it hits a boulder. It moves around it. If its way is blocked, it finds another route. It keeps going with power and direction. A smart woman lives like that. When trouble comes, she doesn't freeze. She doesn't complain or wait for the perfect moment. She adapts. She finds another solution. Imagine a woman who spent years growing her career at a company. One day, she loses her job unexpectedly. Many would feel lost, but she breathes deeply, reviews her strengths, and chooses a new road. Maybe she builds her own business. Maybe she switches careers. Maybe she learns something fresh. She doesn't dwell on the loss. She invests in what's next. This kind of adaptability isn't limited to work. It shows in every area of her life. In relationships, she understands people grow. She doesn't hold on to who someone used to be. She accepts when life takes her down a new path. She knows that love and connection evolve. She doesn't fear that change. She grows with it. Think of the strongest people you know. They aren't those who avoided pain. They're the ones who got knocked down, stood back up, and kept going. A smart woman doesn't pretend everything's fine. She feels the struggle, but she doesn't stay there. She allows herself to grieve, to process, then to rise. She adjusts her plans, her expectations, even her dreams, but never her values. She stays true to her essence, no matter how much life shifts around her. This kind of strength is quiet but powerful. It's not about being loud or aggressive. It's about being steady, flexible, and real. A woman like this doesn't need the world to recognize her strength. She lives it, breathes it, shows it in her every action. Down and discovered a way to rise again. A wise woman does not get scared of failure because she understands that failure is not the final point. It is just a new direction. She does not stay stuck in the past going over her mistakes again. And again, she learns from them. She makes changes, and she keeps going forward. There is a strong message in nature. Trees that are stiff and refuse to bend often break in storms, but the ones that bend with the wind are the ones that last. A wise woman knows this very well. When life brings sudden changes, she does not fight against them. She moves with them, changing her path and finding new power in the process. She does not fall apart under pressure. She grows from it. Think about everyday life. Plans shift, people let you down, chances come and go. Many people feel angry or sad when things do not go exactly how they hoped, but a wise woman does not let sudden changes destroy her peace. She understands that sometimes what feels like a failure is actually preparing her for something better. She believes that even when things fall apart, there is still another path. This ability to adjust gives her strength. She is not afraid of what's coming because she knows she can deal with anything. She does not need everything to stay the same to feel calm. She feels steady because she knows she can guide herself through any storm. She is the type of person who, no matter where she ends up, no matter what situation she faces, she will always discover a way to grow. She is not scared to begin again. She is not afraid to change herself. She is not afraid to release the things that hold her back. She knows that change is not something to avoid. It is something to learn from. This way of thinking makes her powerful because while many people wait for the right time or perfect moment, she is already adjusting, already acting, already doing what she can. With what she has, she does not get stuck by problems because she believes in her power to create her own life. And because of this, wherever life leads her, she always finds a way to rise. A truly wise woman is emotionally smart. She understands not only her own feelings, but also the feelings of other people. She is not controlled by quick emotions, and she does not let temporary moods affect her big choices. Instead, she has a deep understanding of how emotions work, how they come and go like the waves, and how controlling them can lead her to a better life. Think of a candle in the wind. Some people, when they go through emotional stress, flicker and shake. Their flame becomes unsteady, reacting to every wind. But a wise woman guards her flame. She does not let every small thing shake her deeply. She has learned to tell the difference between what is real and what is just a moment. When anger comes, she does not blow up. When sadness visits, she does not fall apart. When excitement shows up, she does not make promises she cannot keep. She feels her emotions deeply, but she does not let them control her. Think about a moment when someone says something mean. Most people react right away, saying hurtful things back, making the situation worse. But a wise woman, she stops for a moment. She watches not just the words, but the feeling behind them. She knows that sometimes people speak from their own pain, their own doubt. their own issues instead of taking it personally. She thinks before she reacts. This does not mean she accepts bad treatment. No, she has strong limits like iron. But she decides not to waste her time on fights that are not worth it. This emotional wisdom helps her move through relationships with kindness, whether it is love, friendship, or family. She understands that emotions are the doorway to deeper connections. She listens not just to what is said, but to what is silent. She notices when someone is struggling, even when they do not say it. She can tell when someone needs support, when they need distance, when they need honesty. This makes her someone others believe in, not because she tells them only nice things, but because she truly gets them think about a big fight, two people, shouting, neither one listening, both trying to be right. But a wise woman, she does not speak just to win, she speaks to connect. She listens to understand and answers with thought. She knows that arguing without hearing is a waste of energy, and that true communication is not about loud voices, but about open hearts. She knows when to stay calm, when to speak with strength, and when to walk away. She carries peace inside her and brings that peace into the room she enters. She knows that being calm is a kind of strength, that being kind is a choice, and that controlling your emotions is a form of power that can't be taken away. She knows how to keep herself grounded when everything around her feels chaotic. She does not look for control outside, she finds it within. She trusts her inner voice, she listens to her instincts, and follows the quiet wisdom that guides her from the inside. She understands that success is not only about money or fame, but about how deeply you live, how kindly you treat others, how bravely you face challenges. She does not compare herself to others because she knows her path is unique. She does not let outside noise distract her from her inner purpose. Even when she feels doubt, she keeps going. Even when things feel heavy, she reminds herself of who she is. She has the courage to let go of what no longer grows her. She has the strength to forgive even without an apology, and the faith to believe in better days even when she cannot yet see them. She builds her life with patience, with grace, with power, and with heart. She is not perfect, but she is real. She is not always strong, but she always comes back. She knows that growth takes time, and that becoming takes effort, and she never stops becoming. She never stops rising. She never stops loving even after heartbreak, never stops trusting even after betrayal, never stops shining even when the world feels dark. She has a light inside that no pain can put out because she knows who she is and what she stands for. She is not waiting to be saved. She is saving herself with every choice, with every step, with every breath. She walks with quiet courage. Her story is not about being untouched by struggle, but about rising again and again strong, wiser, softer, and more herself each time, and that is what makes her unstoppable.